So hello children, welcome once again. Time and tide wait for none. Time is flying away and obviously we are also progressing as the days are getting over day by day. We are also trying to complete our ICSE syllabus. Remember, we are following the further reduced syllabus. Today we will be discussing with the manufacturing industries. For the last two sessions, we have discussed about the agro-based industries. Today we shall start the mineral-based industries. So let us remind ourselves once again what is called the mineral-based industries. Industries which obtain their raw materials from the minerals, that means the raw materials that are used for the industry are coming from minerals. These type of industries are called the mineral-based industries. India has a good deal of mineral-based industries. The main industries include the iron and steel, heavy engineering, and petrochemicals. In this session, we will be discussing in detail about the iron and steel industry. Now, this is the basis of modern industrialization in India. If India is progressing, rather is becoming a not a developing country, then it is the basis. The iron and steel is the basis, the foundation of all the modern industrialization in India. It is the foundation of all modern machines, tools, transportation, etc. The same industry itself supplies raw materials for large numbers of industries like engineering, automobiles, shipbuildings, various machines, tools, etc. Iron and steel industry is taking its raw material from the minerals. But iron and steel itself is becoming raw materials or the resource tools for so many other industries. So many other industries are surviving. It is all because of iron and steel industries and mainly the engineering, automobiles, shipbuildings. See, aeroplane body. Okay, of course, it is made by the aluminium and some other thing. Then the various machines and tools all made from the iron and steel. Now, which are the important factors to locate a industrial place? Uh, like proximity of iron ore. If you have to have an iron factory or industry, what you are supposed to see first? Proximity of iron ore. That means how close the iron ore is. That is the basic mineral. Availability of coal for power supply, because the iron ore has to be melted. A good amount of coal is required to create the fire, the call the temperature to melt the iron ore. Good network of transport and a large number of flux materials. See, in iron and steel, just not the iron ore, but so many other circle subordinate supportive materials are also there, either to purify the molten metal, removing the impurities from the steel, or making the steel tough or rust proof. For all these reasons, in India, Chota Nagpur, where you and I and many of us we are sitting, that's called Chota Nagpur, has become the seat of iron and steel industry of India. It doesn't mean that this is the only place, but this is the major, the primary iron and steel industry of India is situated within the Chota Nagpur belt. Now there are two kinds of steel plants. One of them is known as the mini steel plant. Now what is called mini steel plant? Well, these are kind of steel plants where all the processing is not done under one what is called plant or under one roof. They are electric furnace. These plants use sponge iron, scrap iron, pig iron for their raw materials. Remember, sponge iron, not ore, not ore. That means they actually these raw materials means sponge iron, scrap iron, pig iron. They are the second form of the already they have been reformed from the iron ore. They produce alloy steel or stainless steel. They are located in regions that are actually far away from the integrated steel plants. In fact, there are two kinds of steel plants. One is the mini steel plants, the other one is the integrated steel plants. We will be discussing after this. To meet the local demands. So, mini steel plants are situated in the areas where the local demands will be met. Like, see the stainless steel, so way is called vessels, etc. etc. Now, advantages of mini steel plants in India. They are suited for the local needs and demands. The raw materials for these plants are easily available. Heavy capital investment is not required. They produce special steel like stainless steel or alloy. They do not cause much pollution. Remember, the heat energy they use is from electricity. So therefore, pollution they do not cause much. Besides, they use the raw material. This is a finished product. Now, disadvantages of the mini steel plant. They totally depend on electricity. They consume more power units. All kinds of machinery cannot be manufactured here in this mini. Its name is mini, small. Okay. Cost of production is actually high. Cost of production. The total cost of production is not. This cost of production per unit is quite high. Now, against these mini steel plants, there is another bigger one is called the integrated steel plants. What are these? These are plants where all the processes are carried out under one complex. That means the work is from melting of the iron ore to shaping of the metal by rolling. From A to Z, that we say, from melting of the iron ore to the metal by rolling. They use raw materials like iron ore, coal, manganese, limestone to make the pig iron, sponge iron, scrap iron, etc. etc. They don't make the finished product. They supply, they take the raw material from coal, manganese, inspect mainly from the iron ore. They convert it to the called pig iron, sponge iron, scrap iron, which are again used in the mini steel plant for some other use. Advantages of integrated steel plants. They are located in the close proximity to raw materials. So from the close to the mines of raw materials like iron ore, etc. They give job facilities to large number of people because it is a huge, integrated is a huge complex. So they give job facilities to large number of people. They are the boon for the industrial development of the whole country. These are the backbone of the whole country. Our foreign currency, or say uh, earning from the export, comes mainly from these integrated steel plants. Now the disadvantages. They need huge capital. Obviously, you cannot have a called small place or small amount of money. Construction period is longer. Since it is located in the zone of raw materials, other regions do not get the local benefit from these plants. The difference between the two, the integrated and the mini steel plant, it quite often you are asked in the exam. So integrated steel plant and mini steel plant. In the integrated steel plant, the raw materials include coal, iron ore, limestone, etc. The other side, the raw materials include sponge iron, scrap iron, pig iron. In fact, the integrated steel plants, they take these iron ore, coal, limestone, and with the help of this, they convert it to this iron. In fact, integrated steel plants supply the raw material for the mini steel plant. Point to be noted. They require heavy capital. Integrated steel plant is a huge one, so they require heavy capital. Whereas mini steel plant, they need comparatively less, so heavy capital is not required. Integrated steel plant, they use blast furnace. In fact, direct coal is used to melt the iron ore. On the other hand, in the mini steel plant, they use maximum, most of the time, the electric furnace. In the integrated steel plants, they are close to raw materials. The factory, the industry is situated near the raw materials. Otherwise, the cost of transport will be very high. Whereas in the mini steel plants, they are distributed all over the country. In this context, the major steel plants of India, one of them is Tata Iron and Steel Company, known as TISCO. We are all aware of it. Go to Jamadoba, then you will know what it is. TISCO or Jamshedpur. Tata. Now, some basic info about the Tata TISCO. This is the oldest and the largest iron and steel industry of India, located in Chota Nagpur belt of Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. Tata. It was established by Jamshedji Tata. That's why it is named as Tata. So Jamshedji Tata. So either it is just a Jamshedpur, he has got two names, Tata Nagar or Jamshedpur. So both the name comes from this one name, Jamshedji Tata. It's one name, of course. So in this, either he call is Jamshedpur or Tata Nagar. But Jamshedji Tata is one name. Under this initiative of this famous man, the Tata Iron and Steel Company really established. It is a private sector. Okay, it is a private sector. Today it is known as Tata Steel in short form, or TISCO. Favorable factors. What are the favorable factors that helped Jamshedpur to develop as? What are the favorable factors to develop Jamshedpur as the Tata Nagar? Okay, let us make it a bigger so that you can see. Is too big. So first, raw materials. The major raw materials iron ore is obtained from Noamundi mines of Singhbhum district, that is from Jharkhand, and Mayurbhanj. It should be Mayurbhanj from Odisha. Mayurbhanj from Odisha. Coal is supplied from Jharia. Some of the names are quite familiar to us. Jharia, Singhbhum. Suvarnarekha. Suvarnarekha is the name of the river. Suvarnarekha and Karki rivers supply water. Lots of water is required to wash. Damodar Valley Corporation, in short form called DVC. So this DVC is the source of power supply, electricity. Manganese is obtained from again Noamundi. Limestone and dolomite are obtained from Gangpur, Sundargarh, that is from Odisha, and Singhbhum, Jharkhand. Well-connected rail and road network is here present. Skilled and unskilled labor is available. Skilled because of the technology, high technology they are using, and unskilled because there are lots of physical manual work is required. So in both ways, in this place we have got skilled and unskilled labor, manpower. Okay, the riverine port, seaport and riverine port just beside the river called riverine. So the riverine port Kolkata is close by. So because of all these nine solid strong reasons, Tata Nagar has become a favorable seat for iron and steel industry of India. We have some few more we shall discuss in the next session, dear children. Now time is really running out, so please now begin to prepare yourself for your exam. uh, from the manufacturing industry, it is understood that one 10 marks setup question will surely come. Either they may come combined, means from agro based industries or mineral based industries, or two questions may come, but one question is sure. Definitely one question will come from here. So therefore take this chapter little seriously, and it's not difficult, it's not so difficult. In fact, in geography is not so difficult. It is quite easy to score full marks in geography, provided you study, you become familiar with the text. Wish you all the best. God bless you and keep safe.